morning, ma'am. I am examinee 001 at narito po ako upang kumuha ng oral and practical examination. Narito po ang aking permit. Ma'am, maaari ko na po bang ayusin ang kagamitan sa pagmamasahe?
Go ahead.
Ma'am, naayos ko na po ang kagamitan sa pagmamasahe. Maaari ko na po bang papasukin ang aking kliyente?
Go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to our spa. Upo po muna kayo, ma'am. Bakit po kayo naparito?
Masakit ang likod ko.
Ilang araw na po yan?
3 araw na.
Napatingin niyo na po ba ito sa doktor?
Hindi pa.
Bali, titignan po natin kung ano pong may tutulong namin. For the meantime, ma'am, pakifill up po muna ng ating form.
Ang galing.
Thank you po, ma'am. Gaya po na sinabi nyo kanina na meron kayong back pain, bilang validation po, kukuhanan ko po kayo ng vital signs. Ma'am, gaya po na sinabi nyo kanina na meron kayong back pain, nung kinuhanan ko po kayo ng vital signs, ay normal naman po ito. Ibig sabihin po, fit po kayo for massage. Maaari na po kayong mahiga sa ating bed. There are 5 basic stroke of massage: effleurage, petrissage, friction, tapotement, and vibration. The first basic massage stroke is effleurage, from the French word effleur, which means to stroke. Other term is unbroken gliding movement repeated following the contour of the body using palm, knuckle, fingertips, and forearm. Rationale, use the introduced touch for applying lubricant in its repair transition strokes. Benefits, reduce stress, improve circulation, and prepares the body for deeper massage techniques. The first variation is one-handed. There are 3 sub-variations: raking, ironing, and circular. The first sub-variation is raking. 2 or 5 fingertips together or apart with pressure. The second sub-variation is ironing. Dip using palm, forearm, and fist. The third sub-variation is circular. The palm gliding on the skin in a circular motion. The second variation is two-handed, using both hands gliding on a skin simultaneously. There are 2 sub-variations, heart shape and circular. Heart shape is long deep stroke done by moving both hands in a heart-shaped motion. The second sub-variation is circular, one hand over or beside the other in a circular motion. The third variation is alternate hand. There are 2 sub-variations, raking and circular. The first sub-variation is raking, same as one-handed raking but using 2 hands. The second sub-variation is circular, alternate hand movement. The fourth variation is nervous stroke. It is a feather-like finger tracing from the superior to inferior. The second basic massage stroke is petrissage, from the French word pétrir, which means to knead or kneading. A cycle of rhythmic is lifting, squeezing, and releasing of tissue. Rationale, it breaks down the muscle knots, improves blood flows, and increases the range of motion. Benefits, relieves muscle tightness, improves circulation, and enhances flexibility. The first variation is one-handed, single clamp squeeze. The second variation is two-handed. There are two sub-variations, praying hands and ocean waves. The first sub-variation is praying hands. Fingers interlace, palms squeezing upward. The second sub-variation is ocean waves, gliding hands in opposite direction with compression. The third variation is alternate hand, grasp and release alternately. The fourth variation is pulling, palm or thumb pressure separately while moving forward. The fifth variation is skin rolling, lifting skin and superficial fascia, no downward force involved. The third basic massage stroke is friction, from the Latin word picare or friction, meaning to rub or rubbing, compressing the tissue in several directions. Sliding, palm, fingers, and knuckles, back and forth over skin on different tissue layers, usually dry or without oil. Rationale: open use for areas that lack muscle bulks such as ligaments and tendons. Benefits: reduce pain, improves mobility, and breaks down adhesions. First variation is superficial warming, heat rub, palms moving briskly in opposite direction. It has a sub-variation called sewing. The second variation is rolling. Hold limb with open hands back and forth from distal to proximal. The third variation is ringing. Grasp firmly while twisting in opposite direction. Fourth variation is cross fiber. Fingers movement perpendicular to muscle fibers with moderate to heavy pressure. The fifth variation is choking. Same direction as muscle tendons and ligamentous fibers, hump or fingers move back and forth. The sixth variation is circular, small circular movement that glides superficial tissue over underlying tissue using fingers or palm. The fourth basic massage stroke is tapotement, from the French word tapoter, which means to tap or drum on other term or percussion, repetitive staccato striking movements of hands simultaneously or alternate using ulnar surface of hands, fingertips, open palms, cup palm, and loosely closed fist. Rationale may be applied directly to the skin or through the drape while avoiding heavy stroke over the kidneys. Benefits: stimulate nerve ending initially and helps increase local blood flows. Variation: the first variation is tapping, using fingertips of one or both hands, various speeds. There are three sub-variations: the punctuation, the pulsing, and the raindrops. Punctuation is hand tapping. The second sub-variation is pulsing, alternately deep, light up. And the third sub-variation is raindrops, very light fingertips tap skin at different times. The fourth variation is cupping. Cup hands loosen phlegm in chest cavity may induce coughing. The fifth variation is pounding. Loose fist beating moderate shake. The sub-variation is rapping, when applied palm down. The sixth variation is clapping. Slapping palm striking with alternate strike. The second variation is pincement. Skin lifted grasping quickly on pot on striking. The sub-variation of it is plucking. The third variation is hacking. Chop using ulnar edge of both hands with finger relax. The sub-variation is quacking. Strike with three fingertips on quacking subs along muscle relaxation across muscle microconstruction. The seventh variation is diffuse. Lay palm surface on skin while stacking back at hands of diffuse force. Move across surface, what the purpose? I'll do it for myself. The fifth basic massage stroke is vibration. From the Latin word vibration meaning to shake or shaking movements. Rapid shaking, quivering or rocking movements applied for fingertips. Or rocking movements applied with full hand. Rationale, performing vibration correctly requires coordination and practice. Benefits, relaxes tense muscles and stimulates blood circulation. The first variation is fine, fingertips trembling, fingers rigid gliding along. The second variation is jostling, rhythmic and vigorous shaking back and forth. The third variation is coarse, grasp at most proximal point and gliding down distantly. The fourth variation is rocking, push and catch motion. After a massage, it's important to advise clients on proper post-massage care to enhance the benefits of ensure a comfortable recovery. This includes staying hydrated, avoiding strenuous activity, and potentially using heat or cold therapy. Clients should also be encouraged to relax and listen to their bodies, potentially noting any change they experience for future session.